Mick and Sam, taking you to Jungle Land. Bengals pride, it fills the air. Every week we're always there. Touchdowns, tackles, all the plays. Bengals roaring every way. Stories, news, and game recaps. Jungle Juice, we bridge those gaps. Welcome to the Jungle Juice. Mick and Sam, let's break it loose. Cincinnati, hear our call. Bengals fans, unite us all.
Welcome into this week's edition of the Jungle Juice Podcast. I'm Sam Gormley. He's Mick Nelson. Mick, how's it going?
Oh, it's going good. How about yourself?
Good. It is. I hate that we've now officially hit the. We had the little like false fall, that they say in Kentucky, because over the weekend it was really nice, and then I had a work lunch today, and as I left, I got in my car and I was like, "What happened to it actually being nice outside? It's hot again, and it's not fun."
Yeah, it's a little. It hasn't felt like terrible here, but
it was 90 here today.
Here. It was 90
here. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I don't think it was 90 here.
And I think you even had some rain up there. Did I not see something about some rain downtown?
Giant thunderstorm while I was at work today.
Yeah, and see, we've not had any of that. It's been one of those days that there's been like no clouds. So because of that, it's not like there's been no respite for shade or anything. So it's just hot. It's awful. But alas, we're less than 24 hours away from Bengals football. Can you believe that? Like, does it feel a little weird that it's a little weird?
I think the feeling finally sets in when I'm looking at what I'm looking at right now, which is the Bengals posting their pictures getting on the plane to go to Philadelphia.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, and I just got the notification because this is a part, and I think this is a preseason thing, that I got the notification that said it was 24 hours to kick off about 30 minutes ago when we're recording this. And honestly, Mike, I don't think I could have told you what time kickoff was. Which is hilarious because, in the regular season, we know what time kickoff is every single week, but the preseason, it's just wild. And then I was even sitting here thinking, I was like, I know they go to Washington next week, and I know they have a home game that Saturday. And I'm like, they play the Colts? Is that right? Is that right? I didn't even look it up. Is it the Colts their third preseason game?
We're too bad at this.
And I'm just like, I don't even know. I think that's right. But I think it just shows how little the preseason, people care.
How little we care about the preseason.
Especially the third preseason. Okay, it is the Colts.
I knew that. I knew it was the Colts. I can't tell you what day of the week it's on.
It's a Saturday. I did know that. So, but yeah, okay.
Are we going?
I think so, yeah.
Are we?
Why not? Well, we can talk.
Oh, wait, no, we can't.
Oh, we got to go to at least part. We got to talk. We got to go to at least part.
We know
of it,
that's
right?
when our fantasy draft's
yeah,
like 2
can we
o'clock.
Not? Is that not later? I thought it was later in the day.
No, it's in the afternoon.
As I said, I was going to the game. I want to go. I haven't gone to a Bengals game in months.
Well, too bad.
Plus
we
the
got to
third
do
preseason game. Maybe I'll just pick last. I don't care.
I don't.
And I'll just go sit with 30 of my. I'll sit with 30 of my friends watching a Saturday afternoon game between the Bengals and the Colts when Desmond Ridder is starting against whoever the Colts third string quarterback is. I have no idea.
Daniel Jones. Well, he's their second string or potentially.
But no, I was going to say it's an or in there. But alas, we don't need to be talking about that quite yet. On the show today, hit some of the news of the week. Not as newsy as last week's show was. And then we're going to talk a little Bengals-Eagles. Expectations for tomorrow's game. Kind of what we're looking for. This is kind of like your test game, and then next week is when I think we really get to actually learn some things about the team when the Bengals take on the Commanders in Washington next week. But we thank you for joining us today. Remember to follow us on our social media channels, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter.
Yeah, thank you.
Favorite podcasting platform as well. Are you good? Hello?
Yeah, are you freezing up on me?
No, I think you're freezing up. I think it's good. I think it might be you. That's a little weird. It's not showing any issues on my end. I don't know. You just went frozen there for a second. I was in the middle of saying, follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, and you're just like, yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. I was like, oh, well, good.
Yeah, I think we had a little bit of a disconnect there. Okay, I think we're good now. But no, I was just following up with your point that this is going to be, you're going to get a little bit of a taste of what the starters are going to be during this Eagles game. Really, the biggest highlight is going to be roster battles throughout the second and third string levels of this roster, which there's a few of them that we're going to talk about during our show today. We do have a few pieces of news, I guess, to touch up on. We want to go ahead and talk about the our newest Bengal.
Yeah, Noah Fant signed with the Bengals. They released some tight end from West Virginia to create space for him that I had never heard of. He had been an undrafted guy, and I was like, oh, that's kind of sad that you're an undrafted guy that gets cut like after a week into training camp. That has to be kind of disappointing. Mason Taylor, maybe was that his name? I don't remember. But
wait, is that a joke?
No, they did release an undrafted free agent from West Virginia to create the space for Noah Fant.
Oh, Mason Taylor is the second round pick for
the New York guy? Mason, Jets. It's Taylor. It's something. Again, it's not like his name.
That guy's not playing NFL football ever again.
No, he had his, but that's just what kind of stinks for him is that he had his literal cup of coffee was a week of training camp. He didn't even get to make it to the first preseason game, which that just kind of sucks, for sure. Cole Taylor.
That's
Do you have a favorite Mason Cole Taylor memory from Bengals training camp?
Hell no, that dude went to WVU.
I mean, it's the best school in West Virginia, right?
Garbage school, WVU.
But Noah Fant, he signs a 1-year deal. A lot of incentives in there. And honestly, I really like the fit for the Bengals.
Yeah, no, I'm starting to like this move more and more. The Bengals had a need for an inline tight end with Eric All being out for the entirety of the season. And your only options were Drew Sample and Tanner Hudson. And I don't know if they necessarily got the job done last year. I mean, they've been
Cam
okay.
Grandy?
And Cam Grandy when things get desperate, But this was a great signing, I think, for the Bengals. So Noah Fant, he's been working in the slot the past 3 years for the Seattle Seahawks, and we've seen a dip in his production over those 3 years from what we were accustomed to seeing when he was playing over in Denver. And when he was in Denver, his in-line percentage was much higher than what it was in Seattle. It's about twice as high. I would imagine this is what the role he's going to be playing for the Bengals. So hopefully he's getting back to that type of production that we were seeing in the early 2020s with the Denver Broncos. So yeah, I'm a fan of the move. I think he's going to have a good amount of production in this offense. The only thing I don't like is him wearing the number 86. It's just a very mad number. And
well, I guess when you're signed on July 31st, I guess you're kind of.
Do we not have is 88 taken? 88's a better number. I don't think 88's taken.
That's Gesicki.
Ah, shit. Never mind. Yeah,
you can't.
God, that was a terrible idea.
Yeah, good job.
82.
We're such great Bengals hosts. We don't know who they're playing, what time the game is, what number our tight end's number is. We're such good at our jobs. We're so good.
Who's wearing 82? Tyler Kroft?
I have no idea who wears 82. I have
no idea.
I
don't remember a Bengals player wearing 82 since.
Was
Tyler
that Kelly
Kroft.
Washington too? Was he 82?
No, he was 87. I think.
87, I guess. I don't. Again, we're just
Ethan Carter. He wore 82.
I'm looking here to see if there is a number 82 currently on the roster right now. I have no earthly idea. That's Mitchell Tinsley. How do I not know my Hilltopper? Who apparently...
Shit. Okay, this might be the only number in the 80s that was available.
There is an 83. 83 is available.
Eric All's 83.
But I guess, yeah. Well, I guess he's not listed on this roster since he's technically on IR. So, yeah.
Mitchell Wilcox still on the roster? Oh, wait, no, that's Tanner McLaughlin. He has 84.
Correct. There's literally... Okay. That is the only
number available.
It was the only option. Now, obviously, theoretically, if Cam Grandy gets cut or something like that, 85 could open up and Fant could change to that, but I don't really know that he's going to be going that into it. But yeah, Noah Fant, I think it was a really good signing. And I mean, I heard, I think Dan Horde make the point on Twitter that the thing with Noah Fant is this is going to be the first time in his career that he's played with a great quarterback.
Yeah, yeah, it is. I mean, he may have had 1 year of Russell. Actually, I don't even know. Did he have
No,
1
because
year?
they were in the trade. They were in the trade.
That was the trade. So no years of Russell Wilson. You had
Geno Smith.
Smith. Okay, well that I mean it was decent for a couple of years. Denver, you had Drew Lock maybe for a year.
Yeah.
That wasn't great. Drew Lock and
And
Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy
whoever the hell is
Bridgewater is one of
quarterback
those years.
whoever the hell the quarterback was in Iowa too. I mean, God, who knows who the quarterback was that he had at Iowa? So he's going to be playing with a good quarterback for the first time, and it'll be interesting to see how that makes him look even better.
Yeah, I couldn't say that any better myself.
Other news, the themed games have officially been announced. Open in orange. I don't know that this was really any secret, but it's officially against the Jags. I think everyone kind of knew that. So again, orange out against the Jags week 2. Stripe the Jungle is going to be against the Lions, and the whiteout is going to be on Thursday Night Football against the city near West Virginia. I think when we were talking the other night, I think I thought those would have been flipped. I thought they were going to do whiteout against the Lions and Stripe the Jungle against that team near West Virginia. But I still think it'll look good. I think the whiteout looks good under the lights, but I think Stripe the Jungle looks even better under the lights.
Yeah, I think so too. I do think the Stripe the Jungle still will be like pulled off with it being a 4:25 start time, so it'll get a little bit darker around like the second half towards the end of the game. So maybe it'll pop out a little bit towards the end there. But yeah, I mean, I thought the Stripe the Jungle was done magnificently. And the did they do it last year?
Browns, technically.
No. Well, that was lame because it was a 1:00 game.
Yeah, because it was supposed to be Thursday night, if you remember, and then it got flexed out.
So they did it magnificently during the Bills game a couple of years ago. Like we
looked phenomenal.
Yes, because I remember both of us kind of went into that game thinking this is either going to go, this could go one of two ways. There's like no middle ground. It's either going to look amazing and as intended, or it was going to look like a complete mess and it's thrown off onto the cutting room floor. So yeah, I mean, I still think with the Lions game, I think it'll still pop out. If it were used on a 1:00 start game, I'd be pretty disappointed. The white out at night's always pretty cool, but I still thought the white kind of popped out pretty well during the Eagles game too.
I agree, and that's where I think I would have flipped. I think the whiteout could still work at a 1:00 game. Riley says we'll get the Lions all blacks for the whiteout. No, it's flipped. The whiteout, the Stripe the Jungle is the Lions game. So I don't think the Lions.
Riley, listen.
He can't. Clearly, he's not paying attention to us at all, Mick. Here's the one thing though that I see a lot of fans doing, and I'm on board with this. Curious what you think. Do we plan a blackout for one game?
I'm surprised we haven't done one.
I don't, especially wearing all black uniform, because I think the all blacks are maybe my favorites. Next to orange tops, black pants. I think those are the best two, and then obviously white tiger. Like if we could do that. I don't love black tops, orange pants. Don't love that.
Oh, I love that combo.
I think it's
a great combo. I think there's like a level. There's a level of symmetry with the black tops, orange pants, because the helmet matches the orange pants. So it's like the top and the bottom match, and the middle is different.
I don't know. I love the all orange, but I don't know that I love the orange pants in any other outlet.
Hey, Josh and I are thinking alike here.
Well, as we mentioned last week, Mick, I am the fashion expert on this show. Look at me. I am.
No. Oh, yeah. We forgot to throw a poll up here. Well, maybe we'll throw a poll up after the show. What do you wear to a wedding? A suit jacket with no tie?
Why are you still on this?
Or with a collared shirt? Or just a collared shirt with a tie and no suit jacket?
When it's 85 degrees outside, I'm not wearing a blazer. We've been over this.
That matters.
But a blackout, why don't we do that against the Ravens or something? Like let's do it. Wear all black uniforms, because I think the blackout you could do a 1:00 game. I think it'd be fine. Well, then obviously you don't have another option, because I think every other home game this year is scheduled to be a 1:00 game, because there aren't any other 4:25 scheduled. at home at least, except for the Cardinals game, I guess theoretically could be slotted into one of those because they get one of those flex options for that. And then technically, I guess the Browns game, the last game, could theoretically be flex, but I can't
do these
imagine.
people running the NFL schedule not know that I don't like to wake up that early to go and tailgate?
You don't like to wake
What's
up
wrong with
early
these
at
guys?
all. You don't
No,
like to
I
wake up
don't.
early at all. And
No.
I'm with you there, but I usually can get myself up for a game because I'm usually excited. Announcers have been assigned for the first 3 weeks of the season, at least 2 of the games for the Bengals. Fox has not decided who the Bengals-Browns announcers will be because for some reason that game's on Fox. I don't really know why. I don't like that.
That will be their F crew.
Yes, I can't imagine. I don't think that's going to be Burkhardt and Brady. Don't think Brady's going to be going to Cleveland. Week 2, the Jags game is going to be Chris Lewis and Logan Ryan. That is the low CBS crew. Week 3 Vikings game. Do you know this? Who will be getting that game? Bengals at Vikings will be Nance and Romo. So they get their first Nance and Romo week 3 for the Vikings.
Well, then we have to go to the Vikings game.
Speaking of that, though, the Vikings game, Jordan Addison for the Vikings has been suspended for the first 3 games of the season, including the Bengals game. That's a big piece of that offense, especially with a rookie. I know he's not technically a rookie, but with a rookie starting quarterback, starting in his first year. Right now on the depth chart, the guy that would be taking his place,
Jalen Naylor,
Lucky Jackson. Lucky Jackson. Hilltopper.
Oh God, he plays for WKU.
Yeah. Pride of Lexington, Kentucky, too. So that would be kind of cool to see that. I might have to bring my red towel and at least wave it when he gets a catch. But yeah, so Jordan Addison suspended, so he will not play.
When did he have the DUI? I don't even remember the news coming across.
I don't remember. It was at some point between today and he got
when he did it.
Yes.
Why are we laughing about this? Driving drunk is bad, people. It's really bad. Don't do it.
The NFL is taking a hardened stance on it, as they should. And I know that there were some extra circumstances with that as well. But there you go. So that's the news of... Oh, yeah, and then the lease became official, too. For the Bengals, they're here to stay through 2036. We've talked a lot about that throughout the years. It's glad that it's officially official. We don't have to worry about it anymore. I know that there was some little worry late last week, but it all got done, and that's all that matters.
Yep. Nothing more needs to be said on this deal. Just be happy your team is here if you feel like you're a taxpayer that got screwed over.
Exactly. Bengals-Eagles, an injury report, at least for the Bengals. Just a couple of names to mention. Dax Hill, CTB, and BJ Hill are all out. They will not play tomorrow. So is Mike Gesicki. He will not play, but Zach Taylor said earlier this week that if this was a real game, he would be questionable. To read into that how you want, but I'd say that that's probably good news. He left the practice on Saturday with a hamstring injury, so I would say that him being questionable is probably a good sign. That is the Vikings is, yes, who we're talking about. He plays for Jordan Addison, and I mean, McCarthy, who likes him, right? He's never done anything in the NFL. He's most overrated quarterback in that class, right, Mick?
Who, JJ?
Yeah.
Oh, don't speak ill of JJ. I like JJ.
Here's a preseason stat for you, Mick, from Jay Morrison, and it's going to turn into a trivia question for you. I know you like a good NFL trivia question.
I love trivia. Let's do it.
Okay. Since 2015, Zach Taylor is one of 3 coaches with a preseason winning percentage lower than 0.25 with a minimum of 4 games. Who are the other 2?
I think Dan Campbell's got to be one of them.
No.
What?
You are close.
Sean
you
McVay.
Are close to
Sean
Dan
McVay's
Campbell.
got to be one of the other ones.
No.
What?
Neither of these guys are active head coaches.
Oh shit. Okay.
Neither of these guys are. In fact, I don't know either one.
Are there hints
I told
of
you
when these guys coach?
Dan Campbell is one of your hints. So this guy, I guess. Let's see. So, okay, one of these guys is the current head coach of the Paris Musketeers. There's one of your hints. And I have no idea where the other guy is. I'm actually
Dan
curious.
Campbell was my hint. Is this the guy that Dan Campbell replaces an interim in Miami?
Oh, and then the other guy is the defensive coordinator of Ohio State now. I honestly didn't know this. Josh guesses Mike Tomlin. Not a bad guess, but that's incorrect. Neither of these are active head coaches.
So you said Dan Campbell was close. Is it Cam Cameron?
Nope.
Oh, shit.
That hint made me lose track of anything. What? You don't know the head coach of the Paris, whatever? I don't even remember what their team name was. The Paris Musketeers? You're not an expert on that.
Give me like an idea of when these guys were in the NFL.
Let's see. About 10 years ago for one of them. And let's see, when was the other guy? The other guy was, he would have been in the Zach Taylor early years era. And then the other guy was about 10 years ago.
Defensive coordinator.
It is not Jim Knowles, Josh. It is not Jim Knowles.
Jim Knowles is the Ohio State defensive coordinator.
Well, then this guy must be the co-defensive coordinator because I'm looking at it right now. Because didn't Jim Knowles go to Penn State?
Did he?
I think that's correct. Yes, he's now at Penn State. Yes, he went and went. Okay, you ready for the answers?
Yeah.
Jack Del Rio.
Oh, God. Okay.
He's the head coach of the Paris team. And Matt Patricia.
In France?
Yes.
I didn't know Paris had a football team.
And Matt Patricia.
Oh, gosh. That's not great. Well, Jack Del Rio was an okay coach. Matt Patricia is not good company.
And that's why my hint to you was Dan Campbell was your hint because he
replaced.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was close in sentiment because Cam Cameron was an awful head coach, and I think that Dan Campbell replaced him as the interim in Miami 10 years ago or so.
Shout out though to Jay Morrison for that. I knew you'd at least appreciate the a mention of Jack Del Rio, who maybe my hint should have been almost was the defensive coordinator instead of Lou Anarumo. Because I believe he turned it down and went to Washington maybe instead. I don't know if that would have helped you get the answer or not.
That would not have, because I think a lot of people, just like myself, forgot that Jack Del Rio existed for a little bit, even though I loved him. I thought he was a good coach. He was like like the other side of Marvin. Like him and Marvin were very similar coaches when they were in the NFL together.
And I love it that, when I think of Jack Del Rio, I obviously think of him coaching one specific team, the Jags. And I was like, who was the team he was coaching then? I was like, oh, yeah, he did have that cup of coffee with do you remember who it was?
He brought him to the playoffs, 12-4.
The Raiders. Raiders. So, yeah. Then good old Matt Patricia as well. So now for the game tomorrow, Bengals play 7:30. Locally, it's on your local channels as well. If you're out of market, you have to watch on NFL Plus or one of the other streaming options that you might have. You can give it a Google, and I'm sure you might be able to find a website that might look a little sketchy, might give you a virus or two, but you'll at least be able to watch the Bengals and the Eagles tomorrow night. Joe Burrow is playing tomorrow. We've talked about this a little bit.
To watch him play or to watch the game.
Is this the right decision?
I'll do whatever Joe Burrow wants to do. And if he wants to play, so be it. If he gets hurt, he gets hurt. But he's the captain of the ship. He's your highest paid player. You do whatever he wants to do.
Zach Taylor said he will play several, and then he said a couple of series. How much do you expect him to play?
2
series? And then what worries me, though, is that Zach Taylor said he's going to be playing more next week. And I don't love that.
It'll be 3 series.
I don't love that, considering where they're playing next week. Don't love that. Don't love that.
Sometimes you got to right the wrong. You got to right the wrong. You got to correct history. Okay.
I don't. And we went over this last year.
Back to play guard.
No. He's with the Panthers. Remember,
he can redeem himself as well.
No,
I think he's with the Bills. I think you said he was with the Bills now.
It is doing this. We went through this last year. There is no correlation between playing in the preseason and starting off well. None. We went through this last year. The Eagles very rarely play, and they have had good starts. There are teams that play a lot and have terrible starts. There's no correlation whatsoever. I don't love it. I don't love it just because I think the risks outweigh any potential benefit. I don't know. Is the biggest fear that I have is you are going to be potentially, because I can't imagine the Eagles are going to be playing a lot of their star defensive guys. So you're potentially going to have a defender up there who is trying to make the NFL, and he's going to be going all out. I just don't love that Burrow could be going up against a guy like that, because he's going to be doing whatever it takes. One weird hit and an injured Joe Burrow is going to cause a slower start, more important than a Joe Burrow who might have played 3 series. And I just don't know that 3 series, let's say he plays 5 across the 2 games, is really going to make that much of a difference.
No, it doesn't, but I'll do whatever keeps your star quarterback happy.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not a huge fan of people playing in the preseason either. I think it's stupid. I think that the issues for the past 3 years have had nothing to do with, us not really playing starters during the preseason. Even though Burrow played for a little bit during the Bucks game last year. I think that they played the Bucks, right?
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay. Anyways,
I love that we can't remember the preseason. It just shows you how meaningless the preseason is.
But you look back since Burrow's career started in 2020. Didn't have a preseason in 2020. It was COVID year. 2021 didn't play more than 3 downs because they just wanted to throw him out in the Miami game to rile up.
Because he's coming back from an ACL.
Because he was coming back from an ACL injury. 2022, appendicitis. That derailed his whole camp. He lost 20 pounds of body weight. And even though they got off to an 0-2 start, it really wasn't that slow of a start because they corrected course and got back to 2-2, right? Calf injury in 2023, that killed everything. And then they corrected course, and then, the wrist injury happened. 2024, although Joe Burrow came out healthy and was fine, he, some weird things were going on with contract situations with Jamar, with T, and
T got hurt. You remember that Friday before the Patriots game?
Yeah, T got hurt the Friday before the Patriots game. The whole game plan got thrown out. And then your weeks 2 and 3, you played decent enough games, even though the Commanders game wasn't as close as the score really appeared. But you got to remember, they were playing 2 teams that made their conference championship games last year, or in those 2 weeks. And you got off to an 0-3 start. Then, last year was kind of a fluke in terms of it was just the Bengals were a victim of scheduling for those first 3 weeks out of the year that screwed them.
I mean,
or the 2 out of those first 3 weeks.
You look at the Bengals last year. They were literally 10 plays away from winning the division.
Yeah.
The wildest thing is when you look at it, because you say all of these specific plays, will make or break games. And you could look at all of these games, and almost all of them went against the Bengals last season. Almost all of them until December, when they started to flip a little bit more into their way. They got the weird fluke against the Cowboys. The Steelers decided that whatever the hell they were doing on offense in that last game. The Broncos, Sean Payton for some reason decided not to go for 2. I still don't know why he didn't, and forced the game to go into overtime. But before that, all of those plays were going against them. And that's where I think the slow start comes from, more so. I agree with you completely. It's the injuries, it's circumstance, it's so on, whereas you're hoping that none of that is coming in, especially on offense. Defense might have some issues because you still have the Trey Hendrickson thing to figure out. We don't need to talk about this week. We've talked about it enough. I'm just going to, every single time Joe Burrow drops back, I'm just going to close my eyes because I just don't want anything to happen.
Yeah. I don't think anybody does.
I'd hope not. Yeah, but I think the risk outweighs the benefit. And that's just my opinion of it. I don't know. Let's talk about other things that we're looking for. Tomorrow night in the preseason opener. I think for both of us, Shamar Stewart, I think, is someone that we're both kind of curious to see. What is he going to be? What are we looking for? Where's he going to line up? How effective might he be? And just think what the fan base will do if he gets a sack.
Hell, you saw the team lose their shit because he had a batted practice or a batted pass on Jake Browning in practice.
I mean,
Things are looking up.
Josh says, talk about living scared. That's rough. I mean, I'm not sure I'm necessarily living scared. I think I'm just living in reality that you're looking at this from Joe Burrow, that a lot of the reasons for the slow starts has been injuries. If Joe Burrow gets hurt, this is done. Like, Jake Browning is not leading. If the Bengals make the playoffs, they're not a threat to win the Super Bowl with Jake Browning. They're just not.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow's the only way they do that. And I just think you protect that chance as much as possible. And I just don't think the benefit of it is that.
Honestly, I'd be worried about T getting injured playing more than
Yeah.
Joe. Both of Joe's injuries. I mean, yeah, the calf injury was something, but like the two season ending injuries were, well, one was like a ticking time. The ACL was a ticking time bomb, right? Like that offensive line played so poorly in Joe's rookie season in 2020 that we knew it was a matter of time that something catastrophic was going to happen. And it also happened in the most embarrassing way possible. Courtesy of Michael Jordan, starting off.
How's he getting multiple? We've talked about Michael Jordan more in the last two shows than we have in the last.
I think we'll be talking about Michael Jordan every time we have, Joe Burrow injury discussions until Joe Burrow's retired. Which hopefully is in, like 15 years.
Let's talk. I think this leads into the offensive line because I think that's going to be something that we're going to be looking for tomorrow, specifically guards. Who is going to start at guard? Dylan Fairchild, heavy favorite to start at left guard, but
he's number one on the Bengals depth chart right now.
And I don't know how much you read in a preseason depth chart. And then I think right now they technically have Lucas Patrick starting at right guard, at least on that depth chart. Is that correct? Are you looking at it right now?
Yeah.
But I am not surprised if Cody Ford starts at right guard tomorrow. And I'm just intrigued as to how those guard matchups shape up tomorrow night.
Yeah. Those two, it's going to be interesting to see as well. I mean, this is going to be one of those starting position battles, and it's probably the most talked about battle on the roster this preseason, this training camp. Not only those guys, I mean, Jalen Rivers also has experience at guard. Are they going to maybe throw him in there? Do they think he's good enough to maybe take that starting spot? Maybe not to start the season, but maybe down the road, say that Lucas Patrick disappoints and Cody Ford has played the way that he's played his entire career. Do they have another solution out there? They've got a lot of position versatile guys in this offensive line that aren't Amarius Mims and Orlando Brown Jr. and I guess Matt Lee.
Or maybe this opens up maybe we need to go get a guy like a Will Hernandez, who is just cleared, or the guy from the Vikings whose name now is escaping me. What is his name? Dalton. Okay, of course the name is now going to escape me. The other guard that's on the market.
Dalton Reisner.
Thank you, Reisner.
Yeah.
To being that. Josh says he was seeing Patrick at right guard and Fairchild at left guard with the ones.
Yep.
I know that Patrick had been playing some center as well. He has some versatility to that position because Matt Lee had been injured.
Yeah. So could he be playing there and they maybe slide Ted Harris over, even though I think that Ted Harris is best fit at center because he's pretty much the captain of that offensive line.
Without question. I don't know that you're going to mess with that. Another guy that I'm looking forward to is I'm excited to see some Taj Brooks action.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see a lot of Taj Brooks tomorrow, and I'm just intrigued by what he could bring because I think he might have a bigger role than we were necessarily thinking.
Yeah, especially with Zach Moss's departure. I mean, it's really opened up the lane for Taj Brooks to show what he has in this preseason, and I don't think that anybody's thinking that he's going to have meaningful snaps especially early on in the season. But are we going to get excited enough to want to watch him play? I mean, we saw him have a couple of really nice years at Texas Tech the past 2 years, over 1,450 rushing yards, both of those years, 17 touchdowns last year. He's definitely more of a thumper than anybody else that's on this depth chart, more than Samaje Perine, definitely more than Chase Brown. So, yeah, I mean, I think there is a role carved out for him. And he was probably drafted as that Zach Moss replacement in case a situation like this happens where Zach Moss is still recovering from this neck problem, this neck injury.
Fuzzy Balls on YouTube says, I am excited to see. Yeah, I was waiting for you to laugh about that. I'm excited to see what Miles Murphy does in the preseason to see if the flashes in training camp are legit or fool's gold. I know Paul Dehner Jr. from The Athletic wrote a really good article about this, about Miles Murphy. And I think one of the questions was, and Jerry Montgomery, the defensive line coach, one of the things they've been trying to get is to get the dog in him out, is what they literally referred to it as, is that he just hasn't been able to get that mean streak out. And on the defensive line, you got to have that. But I agree with Fuzzy Balls. He says that.
Yeah. I think that this is going to be a perfect opportunity for him to do it. And hopefully he shows out. Given the whole Trey Hendrickson contract situation, Miles Murphy could be seeing a good size of snaps. Right now, he's listed, I think, as edge one on the depth chart for the left defensive end position. I think that Al Golden's going to be moving these guys around constantly throughout. Usually, edge rushers, I think, stay on their side for the most part, anyways. But yeah, I'm excited to see if there are going to be flashes to what we thought we were going to see in Miles Murphy, dating back to his days at Clemson.
You need to see something, because you're thinking in a year or less than a year.
Oh, no.
You're thinking in March, you're going to have to make a decision on a fifth-year option for him. You're going to have to make a decision on a fifth-year option for whether you're going to be picking that up for Miles Murphy. And right now, the answer would be no.
The answer would be hell no.
Yeah, I mean, because he hadn't shown you anything. The other name that, and Paul Dehner wrote a good article today on The Athletic where he was going through a rookie report, and Braylon Lux came up. And I'll be honest with you, Mick, that's not a name that really had crossed my plate at all. Do you know who Braylon Lux is?
I'm guessing he plays for the Bengals.
Thanks.
He's on the Bengals roster.
That is great analysis.
He's a quarterback.
Great.
Quarterback.
He is a cornerback from Texas Tech. And this is what Paul Dehner said about him. He said, the 5'10", 180-pounder wearing the old number 21 of Mike Hilton is making the same type of impression Hilton did as an undrafted free agent throughout his career. He has the staff buzzing about the plays he's been able to make. Could he be a dark horse to maybe make that roster? Because I think we all agree that sixth corner position was one, I think we both gave it to Marco Wilson, but I don't think either one of us was like, yeah, Marco Wilson, So maybe Braylon Lux is a guy that could make some money for himself and make this team over these next couple of games.
Yeah. There's a good chance he did. I was looking up the grading from last year. I had a pretty bad year in Texas Tech last year. 60.9 coverage grade, 51.7 run defensive grade.
Does it have where he was lined up in corner position?
So he's been lined up outside pretty much his entire collegiate career.
So maybe he is better suited to be a slot corner. Maybe that'll improve some things.
Yeah, potentially.
What are his run grades? Did it have it on there?
51.7 last year, but a 79.2 run grade the year prior.
Okay. And listen, maybe this is one of the reasons where Mike Hilton was never brought back. Has Marco even dressed at practice yet? He wasn't last week. I don't think so, Josh. So, I mean, that's just opening up an opportunity for one of these undrafted free agent guys. And, I mean, do you really want Lance Robinson making meaningful snaps for the Bengals?
We remember how bad of a preseason he had last year.
Real bad. To the point where I actually remember his name. And that's not usually a good sign for somebody in the corner room. It's either a really good sign or a really bad sign. And it was a really bad sign last year that he really struggled. And plus, I think it needed like number 39 or so, or 38. I think that says everything.
38's DJ Ivy.
So it's 39. I think that's right, which is just a disgusting cornerback number. We were talking about numbers earlier, so I feel like that's just, you can't make the roster.
It's not a sexy number to look at.
No.
When you're looking at an NFL quarterback.
You looking out for anything else tomorrow night?
I mean, my favorite position battle or roster battle, I think, is going to be, again, Muma John Meta versus Shaka Hayward. I think Muma was the preseason darling last year and ended up making the roster. but I was also very impressed with Shaka Hayward during preseason last year. And then I think Shaka Hayward had better regular season play in limited action than what we saw out of Muma last year, and ended up having more snaps than Muma in that Steelers game in Week 18 last year. So is that trend going to continue, or are we going to see Muma take that roster spot again? But I think that's that might be my personal favorite position battle or roster battle to watch there.
Fuzzy Balls is on the side too for you, Mick, of talk about Shamar Stewart's run defense. Fifth best D end against the run in D1 last year. That's one of the things you've stressed a lot of why you are at least optimistic about Shamar Stewart, because he is such a good run defender, to where it's not like you can't put him on the field.
Yeah, no, he has all the tools. One, he's already an elite. I think maybe not already an elite NFL run defender, but like Mr. Balls says right here, or Ms. Balls, it could be Ms. Balls. I don't know. Fuzzy's a gender neutral name here. Anyways, yeah, I mean, Shamar Stewart was one of the best edge rushers in college football last year. I think he's easily the best run defending edge rusher on the Bengals roster currently. And Myles Murphy might be second because of how elite he was early on in his career at Clemson. And then the grading kind of switched last year, or in his towards the end of his collegiate career, to being a more dynamic pass rusher than a run defender. But yeah, I think if he can learn from players like Trey Hendrickson on bettering his pass rush, having a more versatile set of pass rushing moves, the sky's the limit for the guy.
Yeah, and I mean, they need him. They need him. There's just no other way to put it than that, is they have to find a way to get something out of Shamar Stewart that is more consistent and so on. And then Myles Murphy as well. I mean, this was the stat that I saw, and now that we're talking about it, it's making me remind, since we're talking Stewart and Murphy here, last year in the NFL. So one of the stats the NFL can track is high leverage pass rushing opportunities. So this is, the most important plays, third and fourth and long pressure rates. So out of qualifying players, so with at least 35 of those snaps, Myles Murphy was dead last with a 3.1% pressure rate out of those high leverage pressure opportunities. He had 64 opportunities, 0 quarterback hits in that stretch. I might not be an expert. Not great, Bob. Not great at all from Myles Murphy. And he's going to have to do, I guess the positive is that you can only go up.
Yeah.
Right? At least
you can only get better.
You better.
And who knows? So. Yeah. And I think we're kind of interested to see, does Al Golden's scheme, and we know that Al Golden isn't going to, unleash all the tricks that he has up his sleeve during these, preseason games. But are we going to see a better defensive scheme that's a little more pass rush friendly than what we saw with Lou, especially from Lou last year? Because really, you fix the pass rush. That is there's no other aspect of a defense that correlates to winning games more than having a good pass rush.
You have to.
So, yes.
I mean, you look at the teams that win the Super Bowl, they have great pass rushes. There's just no other way to put it than that. And if you want to feel more optimistic about Jerry Montgomery's impact, Paul Dehner in his article about Myles Murphy here, he had some stats. Rashawn Gary in his third season, which is what Myles Murphy is getting ready to go in, his pass rush grade jumped in PFF-wise from a 65.9 in year 2 to a 90.1. And his pass rush win rate jumped from 11.4% to 21% in year 3. And then last year, in his 1 year with Keon White from the Patriots, Keon White went from a 52.3 pass rush grade to a 76.7, and his pass rush win rate doubled as well. So that's, if you're wanting to feel optimistic about
that's a pretty good sign.
Maybe Jerry Montgomery knows a little bit about what he's doing. Fuzzy Balls says Al Golden's defense will have far more linebacker blitzes, which will give all the defensive linemen more sack opportunities. I agree completely.
I'm excited to see Demetrius Knight being brought on some linebacker blitzes, and he's been, I think, a training camp darling so far. When you hear about the news from some of these players,
100%. I mean, you're having. I was reading. I think Jay Morrison wrote an article that I was reading in the last day or two, where he was mentioning him as a potential captain candidate. Now, maybe not this year, but next year. I mean, to where players are already saying that. That means you're making one heck of an impression as a second-round rookie, and it helps that you're 25 years old.
26.
26. Okay, yeah. I mean, you're a grown man in that. And I mean, Miles Murphy is like 22, 23, I think. So he's so much older than Murphy and much more experienced with that. And I think it's gonna pay dividends for him moving forward on this defense, because I think you're doing this.
Yeah.
Riley says, but described as incredibly smart by Jamar Chase and Orlando Brown Jr. At least I'm assuming that's who he's saying. I don't think that's Odell Beckham is who Riley's talking about. But maybe not. Maybe Riley's got Odell Beckham connections.
I just remember watching Demetrius Knight's tape back when we found out that he was our second-round draft pick, and he was sent on a ton of linebacker blitzes. The guy torpedoes to the backfield. Now, NFL competition is obviously much stiffer. It's probably going to be harder for him to do that to the level of success he had at South Carolina. But knowing that you have a guy that's able to do that, we talk about this Viper edge player, even though Demetrius Knight is not an edge, can he fit that role when Al Golden needs it to be used? I think that Shamar Stewart could also do that if he can shore up his pass rushing as well. But yeah, I mean, I'm really excited for him here.
Yeah, and the best part is that you got a couple of linebackers behind him that if you wanted to transition him into a Viper position, you've got Barrett Carter, who has apparently been looking really, really good as well. And then you got Oren Burks too, a guy who played well when given the opportunity for the team that won the Super Bowl last year in the Philadelphia Eagles. So I think there's room to be optimistic on this defense. And I'm just you just got to be hopeful. You just got to be hopeful.
Yeah. One last thing that I'm kind of interested in seeing with the starters is how's Dax Hill going to play as the starting nickelback in this defensive back room? Because we saw him play in the box as a safety.
And he is out tomorrow night. I do want to say that too. I don't know that we're going to say yes. Yes.
Well,
we did say
I'm
that
excited to see that maybe next week. Hopefully next week.
And I don't expect to see him at all in the preseason. It's still coming back probably from that ACL. Maybe you see him for a series against the Colts. But I think that you're probably going to see him do this. But I think, Fuzzy Pulse here makes a good point too. Barrett Carter, his job is going to be Lamar Jackson. And he's right. If the Ravens get swept, Bengals win the division. I don't think there's any question about that unless things go horribly, horribly, horribly wrong. But I'd love to know a team gets swept and wins the division. That probably doesn't happen very often. But then again, no one has ever won the AFC North 3 straight years.
They haven't.
Never. Bengals tried to do it. They couldn't. Ravens are going to try and do it. They hopefully will not either. Do we want to make a score prediction for tomorrow night? I think the Eagles are a 1.5 point favorite.
I'm seeing 5.5. The Bengals
are
did that go up? 5.5 point favorites right now. So I'm guessing the Steelers, or not the Steelers, the Eagles are not playing a lot of their starters in this preseason matchup here. So
will Zach Taylor get a preseason victory?
I still don't think it's going to happen. Give me 16-13.
Oh, it's got to be a disgusting score. It has to be
16. Yeah, I'll go 16-13 Eagles. Oh yeah, another player I'm excited to see, because I'm always excited to see him on the field. Jermaine Burton.
I was waiting for you to mention him. Are
we going to see another elite preseason out of Jermaine Burton, and then we barely see him on the field in the regular season? Because that might be one of the best wide receiver preseasons. I mean, definitely in Bengals history, I would say. I mean, last year he was incredible. I think he had a perfect passer rating, well targeted. He was a dynamic down the field threat. And I want to see. I really want to see Joe throw to him too at some point. Like I want to see if that connection does a little bit better than what it was last year.
I feel like I want to go really disgusting as a final score. Can I do that?
What more disgusting than 16-13?
What about 22-16 We'll go Bengals. You know what? 22-16. I don't know how they're going to get to 22. But they're going to get there. Josh predicts Mitchell Tinsley's going to catch a touchdown from Desmond Ridder. Book it.
Okay.
I like it.
Actually, I'm going to switch. We're going to win 16-13. I forgot the DTR is going to be playing for the Eagles, and we've.
I might even give less points now to the Eagles.
Yeah, they might score 6 points. 16-6 Bengals. Final prediction.
There you go. Come on, do like 5 or something. Come on, throw in like a safety or something. 16-5. Have a really disgusting.
The Bengals are getting a safety against an Eagles coached offensive line.
It is DTR.
Still an Eagles coached offensive line, man.
This is true. This is true. Yeah, Lane Johnson, right? I guess I don't know if he's playing or not. I like that though. Mitchell Tinsley maybe catching a touchdown pass. You know what? Who am I gonna predict? Maybe we'll get a Cam Grandy touchdown. Josh is going 25-17. There we go. It's got to be a disgusting score for preseason. Like, there's no such thing as a 17-14 or something for that. You want an MVP prediction?
Jermaine Burton.
Riley predicts 16-13, and the Bengals get 2 safeties.
So it's going to be 2 safeties and either 2 touchdowns with missed extra points or 4 field goals.
Mike writes in, Ravens are plus 6.5 points in a preseason game. The Ravens are the best team since 2015 in the preseason. They have a 75% winning percentage.
6.5?
I don't even know who they're playing.
Is John Harbaugh trying to catch the other end of variance? Where he went like, and this is a crazy record. He won like 4 seasons.
Yeah, without losing.
Undefeated in the preseason. So is he trying to catch the other end of variance here? Is he going to go 4 winless seasons in the preseason?
It's possible. It's possible. We're going to, you know what? Pick 6 by, you know what? I'm going to go a pick 6 by our guy that we just talked about. We're going to get a pick 6 from Braylon Lux. There you go.
Okay. I'll call an interception from Tyson Anderson at some point.
It has to be a pick 6 though, right? That's all he does in the preseason.
He only had one of them against the Packers a couple years ago. He had 2 interceptions, but only 1 pick 6.
Oh, come on, call it a pick 6. Go all out. No? How many yards does it return at least?
I'll just give him a pick 6.
Pick 6. Okay, it works. Bengals play the Eagles tomorrow night, 7:30 on. It's not nationally televised, but the next week's game against the Commanders is. It is on ESPN, so you'll be able to watch that on the mothership. That'll be good to see as well. Any parting thoughts here? I don't think we really got anything else to discuss.
No, but I will. I am traveling to Pittsburgh this weekend, so pray for me. I'm sorry. Yeah, pray for me.
And I love that.
I'm hoping I don't like it.
The thing that you're the most excited about is eating cold pizza toppings.
Okay, chat. Anybody that's watching this, do any of you guys see the appeal of a pizza with warm dough, warm sauce, but the cheese and the toppings are cold? Do you not get like the appeal? Like I get the appeal of a temperature contrast on a pizza.
No. Not once.
I like a good temperature contrast. Okay, it's like a good example
I
have is getting a McChicken with cheese, but you don't order the cheese melted on top.
No, you get it melted.
Well, no, you don't order it melted on top. You just get a single from home. You throw it on top of your McChicken, and it's delicious.
It's freaking weird. And Mike, there is never a scenario where pineapple goes. Do you at least agree with that? Pineapple.
I don't like pineapple. I don't really like pineapple, in general.
Mike, pineapple doesn't go on pizza. It doesn't go on pizza.
Oh, pineapple and barbecue. I'm not like a huge fan of like pineapple, but I do like pineapple juice.
Is it a texture thing?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a texture thing.
Okay. You had that. I love the things that we had. Mick saying Mr. Balls.
Mr. or Ms. Balls.
Or Ms. Balls. The things that we could do for the things for the the bingo card for this podcast, there would have been some wild ones.
Now I want to figure out who Fuzzy Balls. Can we get Fuzzy Balls on the show?
You can work on that. Next week we'll talk about the preseason game. We'll talk a little bit about what to expect for the Commanders game as well, because we're getting close. I mean, we are a month away from real football, and I can't wait. Wait. Bengals and the Browns in the Mistake by the Lake. Can't wait for it. And we'll see you next week. Remember to follow us on our social media channels. We're Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. We're also on your favorite podcasting platform. Please give us a 5-star rating that way on Spotify, on iTunes, all of the different ways that you have for us. Good luck in the old city near West Virginia, Mick. I apologize in advance for what you have to go through.
We might drive through your, not your hometown, but your mom's hometown to get there. I don't know if we do or not.
You potentially might go that way, but I don't think that's the way you're supposed to go, at least from what I understand. But yeah, hopefully you have a good trip, and we'll talk next week on next week's edition of Jungle Juice. Until then, Mick,